In the mind world, such things as time, here, right now, exist, but not there. I cannot say that God was born on such and such day, month, that He is not here but there. No. This field was, is, and always will be here. These notions are in our mind, in the rules of our game, but this is not. You've heard about it, that's why it's called absolute. Here you are facing something completely different. How? For the mind it's a full-on mystery, and that's fine. Did the perception of time, the way it feels, change? Time itself doesn't exist. There are cycles. For example, the Earth orbits the Sun, and right now here's the daytime, and on other side of the planet it's night. So here's a natural cycle of rotation, and time measure is just convenient to use. But apart from that, time or space doesn't exist for me. I always am. Wherever I go or change places, there is only one thing, my consciousness, and that's it. There's nothing else. The concept of time disappears. When you go further, time and space basically don't exist. Because these are conventions that were invented by us in order to function in the world of mind. Past, present and future already are. A completely new depth is opening, a new dimension, so to say. You are not spinning on the surface of what you see, limited by your sense organs. I am not my body anymore, or it takes such a little part of me now. So insignificant, like an end of a nail on a pinky, in comparison to what I feel myself as. I feel myself as a field that contains all of this world, all that is perceived by me. I feel myself as everything that is happening, and I feel as the perception of what's happening. No such mediated personality, some self-image that I was identified by. I'm so-and-so. I don't have any image of myself at all. It can be explained as the body lives in me. Not vice versa. If before I used to live in my body, now the body lives in me. I run sometimes. In this state I try to run, and it is a feeling of being everything that is happening, and it's just a little part of me. The body was moving somewhere. At the same time, there was no movement anywhere. That is, it's just like a stationary state. You are much more. You are not just watching from the side. You're all that is happening, from which everything is created, from which everything is happening. And you see that the body is small. You're much bigger and wider than the body. That is, you are not only your body, you are everything that is happening, and inside of it there is this little body of yours. So you feel the body in a way. I'm touching it and I feel it, it is here, but I also feel everything that is happening around. It's like you receive this new big body in which this little one is. I'm not my body, I'm something bigger. I saw this world like from the side, all my worldview. I realized that I am a worldview, this consciousness of everything. I don't know if I can put it this way. Feeling as I'm furniture, every person, the relationships between people, it's me too, air, everything else. You have an anchor, one that is beyond your thoughts, feelings, sensations, understandings. The absolute that's eternal. If before there was me and the outside life, now there's just what is happening. And what I used to call I is a part of it. Everything you see is you. All this volume. But before you wake up and you don't feel it, then what I am saying is hard to understand. It is not explainable with words. But once you have awakened and feel that you are this everything that's happening, You are not separated. So again, our unified consciousness, that we are all one soul. Before the awakening were just words. And when it has happened, these are not just words, it is the reality in which you live. I don't know the words that would describe it more precisely yet. And there is no desire to describe it more somehow. Because there is an understanding that the more words I use, the more it leads away from the simplicity of that you just are. And the more words there are, the further away is the understanding of this simple thing. You are life. When you put it into words, you make it complicated. It is much simpler, actually. For a while, I was learning how to speak about it, how to express what I'm experiencing. Even at moments when I was interviewed, when they tried to ask me questions, the only thing I could say, it is so simple. It is happening like this. There is no explanation for it. I couldn't give any explanation. So simple. My mind wasn't able to express it. And even now, when I come to lessons, I understand that it's impossible to speak about it. But about the practice of how to approach this, we can talk. If you talk to a professional swimmer, he will talk about water so much that a person who listens to him, who reads books about swimming, will not even understand what he's talking about. Heavy water, light water, how to understand that? Feeling the water. Because he has been swimming for many years, let's say for 4 years every day. Not just for fun, but systematically, he achieved results. The same happens if you take figure skaters or hockey players. They will talk about ice, this and such kind. We do not even understand what he says. For us, ice is ice, water is water, this sort of thing. The same happens with the present moment. When you don't talk about it, but practice it, you will obtain such sensations and understandings that the religions, like Buddhism, Hinduism, talk about. Whichever words we juggle with now, this you can only feel. It is impossible to understand awakening. You know, I'm all in for the practice. Because, in fact, all of the concepts and theories that haven't been experienced are worth nothing. They are just words. Yes, at some stage we need information, but I am the example of how you can make this pass quickly, without decades of meditation and suffering. Gennady himself is a practitioner at first, therefore he emphasizes on methodology. Indeed, you yourself understand when you have the experiences, insights. What should we talk about? It can't even be expressed with any words. And if we talk about the teacher who has completed all of this path, then to talk about this, what for? What matters is how to convey it practically and how to lead a student to it. This is worth talking about. All these talks about the truth, about enlightenment, it's just chatter. So we try to avoid it. If there are some particular questions, yes, it can be discussed to give some direction. But all in all, emphasis is on pure practice and experience through it. This experience is accumulated more and more by our body until it reaches new quality of perception, so to say. Here is that door. We call it the present moment. That's when a person gains completely different ideas about the surrounding world. You are changing your life yourself, but it doesn't manifest itself externally, it happens more internally. So you begin to rebuild yourself anew. You realize that all of the borders drop down and you stay alone with yourself, the way you are. The process of unification and interflowing are happening within the team. Our egos clash, and in this collision, you begin to work even more intensively on yourself, because you start to see all that's been hidden inside of you.